Hello, everyone, and welcome back to 5-Minute Life Hacks. I'm your host, Natalia Ambrosia, coming at you from my bedroom in Los Angeles, California. I want to take a moment to thank everyone for your feedback for the last few episodes. I've been getting so many kind messages about how the episode touched you, and I'm really grateful for you. Thank you so much for listening. This is definitely a journey and a learning experience for me, and I'm so thankful that you're here with me. This is actually a perfect segue into the topic of this episode, gratitude, and how it can make you happier and why it's important to be grateful, because oftentimes we set goals, intentions, and we accomplish them, we manifest things and we get them, and then we don't celebrate it. We move on to the next thing, and then you wonder, why am I not happy? When you're getting the things that you want, but you're not stopping to acknowledge and celebrate. And I'm going to tell you why it's important to do that and how it can make you happier. And at the end of this episode, I'm going to give you a quick little trick you can do to make you feel more grateful and as a result happier. As always, I'm going to start off with a quick little story on what inspired this episode. As you know, I've been in LA for the last year, but I'd been living in London for 10 years before that. But actually, living in LA was kind of by accident. I had broken up with my partner and I'd been staying with friends for the last 3 months, living out of a suitcase, and although it was wonderful and I'm so grateful for my friends for allowing me to do that, I was kind of feeling not grounded. So I decided maybe I should go back home to LA for 2 months to just, realign with myself, get a little bit of sunshine, see my family, see my oldest friends, make a little bit of money. My friend Kristen told me that you can make a lot more money here in LA, and it's definitely true, even though I spend a lot more money here. And I thought, you know what, maybe I'll just get an Airbnb or sublease an apartment while I'm there. And wouldn't it be amazing to live in a house with a pool and an amazing view and housemates? It's probably not going to happen, but it would be great. Maybe I'll just stay with my parents. So that became the plan. I was going to stay in the studio that my parents had built for me when I was 15, just out of a converted garage. But then when I arrived, it had been raining in LA and the roof had caved in, so it needed to be renovated. And so they said, you'd have to stay in the house with us, which was normally not a problem. But at that point, I'd been living out of a suitcase for 3 months. So I felt like I needed a little bit of grounding and space. So I went on Craigslist that evening, and guess what? I found a house in the hills with housemates, an infinity pool, and an amazing view. And that's where I currently live. And then I was like, great, this is amazing. Anyway, now I need to find a job. And so then I was introduced to a fitness client that wanted me to work remotely and pay me great money to do what I love doing best. And I interviewed and I got the job. And then I was like, amazing. I've got the house. I've got the job. What next? Now I need to make new friends. And of course, I had amazing housemates who started throwing parties, and I met some great people. One of them was my friend Annie, who now I'm really good friends with. She even invited me to her birthday party 2 months into me being in LA. And I bring my friend Sarah, who's visiting me from London. Just for context, a tarot card reader doesn't necessarily tell you your future. It gives you guidance, but I will be talking about that in another episode. So Sarah asks her question. She says, would I be happier in London or would I be happier in Sydney? And so the tarot card reader says to her, this is London. This is what the benefits are. This is Sydney. I'd be happier in Sydney. Sarah's like, great. That's what I thought. Perfect. So then I go up there and I think, I have the same question, but except it's LA or London. What do you think? Then she flips the cards over and she starts umming and ahhing. And I'm like, this wasn't what you did with Sarah. And then she tells me, well, actually, it says here that it doesn't matter. You need to enjoy the moment. You need to be more grateful. You get everything that you want. You're a very lucky person, but you're not grateful enough. You always just move on to the next thing. And then I realized it's true. I haven't been grateful. I'm not that grateful. I always move on to the next thing. For example, the amazing house that I got, the amazing job that paid me really well. I got the amazing friends that I'm sitting here talking to, and I just moved on to the next thing. Even with this podcast, I've been wanting to do this for a long time. I worked so hard on it. I stayed up all night. I didn't sleep. And then I launched it. And then I thought, okay, right, next. I launched it. New episodes. I didn't even stop for a moment to think to myself, Natalia, well done. You launched this podcast. People are receiving it really well. This is great. I think that's important to note, because otherwise you're not going to be happy. And I'm guilty of this. So I need to do this more often myself. So I challenge you to pick something you are grateful for, whether it's something that's happened today, like you finished that really annoying report that you thought you'd never finish, or something that you finished a while ago, like you bought that house you wanted, you had those kids you've always wanted, you have an amazing partner. And also, when you are making your list, it doesn't have to be the big things all the time. It could be as simple as I had an amazing lunch today, or I had a great chat with a coworker, or I got all green lights on my way to work. I just want you to realize that gratitude is about paying attention to the small and big things in your life that are making you happy. Write it down or say it out loud like I do, and take a moment to really feel it and realize, wow, I've gotten what I want. This is amazing. I'm happy. Take a moment to really celebrate it. And going forward, you can do this every day. You can either say it out loud, or you can get a journal. A simple journal will do, or you can get a fancy gratitude journal from Amazon, and you can write down one thing you're grateful for that day or 3 things you're grateful for that day, but really jump for joy at the things you've been getting and manifesting, because this is ultimately what's going to make you happier.